The film opens with a young woman named Ellen calling out into the darkness, yearning for companionship. Her voice is met with a low, inhuman reply. A mysterious presence tells her she has awakened it from an eternal slumber. The entity remains unseen, visible only as a shifting silhouette behind her billowing curtains. It asks whether Ellen will pledge herself to it. When she agrees, her body begins to convulse. Germany, 1838. Years later, Ellen is now married to Thomas Hutter, a real estate agent, and the two live in the quiet town of Wisborg. Deeply in love, they appear to be happily settled. Thomas begins a new position working under Herr Nock, who tasks him with finalizing the sale of an old, isolated castle owned by the enigmatic Count Orlok. When Thomas shares the news of his upcoming journey to meet the Count, Ellen grows anxious. She recalls a haunting dream from their wedding night, one in which all their guests perished and she was wed to death itself. Yet, she confesses, it was the happiest she had ever felt. As Thomas prepares to depart, he entrusts Ellen to the care of their close friends, Friedrich Harding and his wife Anna, who are raising two daughters, Clara and Louise, with a third child on the way. Thomas sets out and spends the night in a remote Bohemian village. The locals become wary upon learning of his business with Count Orlok, but reluctantly offer him lodging after he pays them double. That night, Thomas witnesses a disturbing ritual. Villagers walk deep into the woods with a naked woman, eventually driving a stake into a monstrous creature inside a sarcophagus. The next day, Thomas resumes his journey on foot through the forest. As he ventures deeper into the wilderness, a mysterious carriage arrives and silently escorts him to the Count's castle nestled high in the mountains. While spending time with Friedrich and Anna, Ellen begins to suffer seizures once more. Distressed by Thomas's prolonged absence, her condition worsens, leaving her bedridden. Dr. Wilhelm Sievers is called to examine her and treats her using modern medical practices, suspecting her illness stems from an overabundance of blood. Meanwhile, Thomas, injured and recovering in a nearby church, insists on returning home, aware that Count Orlok now has his sights set on Ellen. In search of deeper answers, Sievers turns to his mentor, Dr. Alban Eberhard von Franz, a renowned scholar of the occult. Together, they visit Herr Nock, who has been institutionalized due to his descent into madness. Surrounded by the headless remains of pigeons, Nock gruesomely bites into another, muttering that his master, Orlok, is coming. Von Franz concludes that Ellen is under Orlok's influence, an ancient being known in folklore as Nosferatu. Though Friedrich remains skeptical, von Franz visits Ellen, who reveals that Orlok has haunted her mind and dreams since childhood. She confesses her fear of his arrival and questions whether evil arises from within the soul or from some malevolent force beyond. Meanwhile, Orlok smuggles himself aboard a ship, hiding within crates filled with the soil from his homeland, along with plague-infested rats. As the voyage progresses, he slaughters the crew one by one, until the ghost ship finally drifts into the harbor of Wisborg, empty and silent. As Thomas races back to Ellen, he finds her under Orlok's control. The Count manipulates her thoughts, using her voice to mock and taunt Thomas. Orlok, now in Wisborg, is guided by the escaped Nock to his new residence. There, he reveals that his dark plan hinges on Ellen re-pledging herself to him willingly. He cannot claim her by force. That night, Orlok appears to Ellen in a dream as she lies beside Anna. But Ellen, now fully aware of the monster he truly is, defiantly refuses him. Orlok warns her that she has 3 nights to reconsider and leave Thomas. If she refuses, he will destroy everyone she loves, and the rest of the town with them. Upon waking, Ellen finds Anna collapsed on the floor, surrounded by rats. As the infestation spreads, so too does the plague, descending upon Wisborg like a curse. Orlok continues his relentless attempts to infiltrate Ellen's mind, driving a wedge between her and Thomas. One night, Anna is awakened by the terrified screams of her daughters. She rushes to their room, only to find Orlok feeding on Clara and Louise. Before she can act, he turns on Anna, killing her and ending the life of her unborn child. Devastated by the loss of his family, Friedrich visits Anna's tomb in despair. Overcome with grief, he kisses her lifeless body and willingly succumbs to the disease that claimed her. Von Franz and Sievers discover their corpses and burn them, preventing the infection from spreading further. Realizing that Orlok can only be defeated if Ellen offers herself willingly, she and Von Franz devise a final plan. While Ellen prepares for her sacrifice, Von Franz leads Thomas and Sievers on a deceptive mission to Orlok's manor. There, they open what they believe is the vampire's resting place, but instead discover Nock lying inside. Fatally wounded, Nock laments that Orlok never intended to reward him. He was merely a pawn. As Von Franz sets the manor ablaze, Thomas races back to Ellen. That night, Orlok enters Ellen's room, where she willingly reaffirms her pledge to him. He lies beside her, feeding on her blood as dawn approaches. But it is a trap. By giving herself to him freely, Ellen has sealed his fate. As the first light of morning breaks, Orlok realizes the deception too late. He screams in agony as his body withers and collapses into a lifeless husk. Ellen, mortally wounded, holds him in her arms until she too slips away. Thomas arrives just in time to witness her final moments, cradling her in his arms as he weeps for the love he's lost. In the end, Von Franz solemnly declares that Ellen's selfless sacrifice has broken the curse, saving Wisborg from the terror of Nosferatu. A haunting and atmospheric reimagining of the iconic vampire tale, Nosferatu, 2024, masterfully blends gothic horror with psychological tension. Director Robert Eggers crafts a visually stunning and emotionally charged narrative that pays homage to the 1922 silent classic while offering fresh depth and dread. Bill Skarsgård delivers a chilling performance as Count Orlok, embodying menace and sorrow in equal measure. With its moody cinematography, meticulous period detail, and a slow-burning sense of doom, Nosferatu is a terrifying meditation on obsession, sacrifice, and the cost of love in the face of evil.